Hello, welcome to another episode of the Break It Down for Brackens podcast. Today we have Meredith Bailey. She is the owner of Merely Creative. That is an art studio in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Meredith, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
There is no reason to be nervous. Just move the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth right there. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you own an art studio. Tell me, well, first, let's get into your background. Who are you?
My name is Meredith Bailey. I'm born and raised in West Virginia. I've been an artist since I was about 8. I've loved everything about it. I've taken a few drawing classes and stuff in college, but most of my painting is all self-taught.
Okay.
I started Merely Creative during COVID. It started small, just doing stuff for friends and family, kind of grew. I saw how much they enjoyed it, so I started doing some bigger parties. It went from like 6 to 12, and now I can do up to 40.
40 people.
40 people.
Awesome.
Is my max. And that all started, it all gradually became a bigger thing. I started traveling to different locations to do parties, different bars, breweries, wineries, things like that, helping them on their slow days to get people into their space.
Well, hold on. Let's get some definitions in here. Let's officially break it down for Brackens. So when you say a paint party, describe to me what that looks like.
So I bring all the supplies you need. So you just bring yourself when you come to one.
Like a birthday party or a celebration of some sort?
I do birthday parties. I've even done some family reunions, just some girls who want to get together and have a girls' night, team building. Did I say birthdays?
Yeah.
Birthdays. So yeah, it can really fit any occasion, just any type of occasion that you'd want to get a group of people together.
All right, so let's say I hire you to do this. I'm really interested in the service. You bring all the paint supplies. So what does that entail?
I teach on a 11 by 16 canvas. I keep it pretty simple, only like 2 brushes when I don't get into the more detailed paintings, the more intricate.
2 brushes, how does that? Like I said, we're going to break it all the way back down. I got to really understand it.
Yeah, I keep mine fairly simple. So these classes are for beginners majority of the time.
Why would you say 2 brushes, though? To me, I don't know. Like, is that just 2 colors?
Oh, no, just 2 size brushes.
Oh.
You can get into the very detailed stuff where you have 10, 15 different types of brushes when painting to get different techniques. But I keep mine fairly simple as to not overwhelm people.
I think the thing I'm the most interested in is like, how do you determine what we're painting? I think everybody's seen what people have brought back from, and different levels of talent from one person to the next. But how is the picture determined?
Usually the group picks. There's a list on my website of pictures that I offer. And I walk you through step by step. So
what does that look like? Like how is it? You start with painting the background, or
yes.
you paint?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you start background and work your way forward, and that's where people get tripped up sometimes because you got to trust the process when doing that. It's not going to look just like your picture right away.
So is it like an example that you post up, like that we're all trying to paint that's there already?
Yeah, and I paint with you too.
Okay.
So I paint along with you and step by step, and I can walk around the room and show you exactly what to do. Cool.
So you have a brick and mortar place in downtown Martinsburg.
Yes.
Inside the Shenandoah building.
Yes, 200 North Queen Street, Martinsburg.
What inspired you to move into a full brick and mortar?
I really wanted a space where people that were struggling with substance abuse and things like that could come and feel safe. A lot of the places that I traveled to prior to having the brick and mortar were all alcohol, and I really wanted to create a space that could cater to everyone.
Oh, I see. So people that might be avoiding a brewery because they don't drink alcohol, you wanted to create a place for them that provided the same service. That's really smart.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then how how busy is it? Like, is it a regular occurrence that they're having classes in your space?
Yeah, there's weekly classes that I host. There's also, you can have private parties. So if you have 6 or more, you can book your own private party.
Oh, I thought they were all private. So you have like an open session sort of class that you can pay to come in and do?
I do. I have a sober Saturday, the second Saturday of every month, that's open to the public. I have date night, the third Thursday of every month, also open to the public. I have 2 to 3 family nights each month as well.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I have questions about almost all of them.
Yeah. I also have open plays during the day. I open that just because a lot of my friends went towards homeschooling their children during COVID. So I have stuff Monday through Wednesday from 10 a.m. till noon. Those aren't instructed paint classes. They're more like sensory bins and arts and crafts sitting out on each table.
You called it open play?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I'm all over the board right now. I need to reel this in. Let's get back. Let me look at my notes here. Let's get back to the services that you offer. So there's the things where you might go to a winery or a brewery, or might go to somebody's house and do small classes there for small groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
From how I understand it. That might be birthday parties, anniversary parties. But in your brick and mortar, there's the sensory bins and open play, which I'd like to touch on. Don't let me get past that, okay? Later. But the, you said date night.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Date night's where the 2 canvases come together and make one big picture.
Oh.
Yeah, so you bring your best friend, your spouse, significant other.
What's an example of like a picture like that? Kind of describe it for me.
So one of my favorites is the giant moon in the middle coming together, and it's like a night sky scene. They're always fun. You always get to see how the couples interact together, or best friends, and it's usually just a lot of fun.
Is one traditionally a better painter than the other?
You can usually see that one has a little more talent than the other. Yes.
How long does a date night sort of paint experience, how long does it take?
About an hour and a half to 2 hours, as most of my classes are around that time frame.
Is it like a before dinner or an after dinner
event? Well, I've done a number of ways. It's always from 6 to 8, but I've also collaborated with local downtown restaurants that cater some food in, or things
neat.
like that whenever we do date nights. So
cool. Then you said family nights. What does that look like?
Family nights are just, it's usually a simpler painting, something kid-friendly, an animal, or something around that. I'm
laughing because I'm envisioning the difference between how the mom paints, how the dad paints, how maybe a middle schooler paints, and then the smaller kid. They're all painting the same picture.
Yeah.
So then it becomes a jockey on who has the best painter, right?
A lot of families do make it competitive, which is fun too.
Yeah.
So.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's real peachy, but opening a business is really tough. I mean, you got to be a little bit crazy. And most people who've been on this podcast have been business owners, so we always talk about how crazy it is. So what was the true inspiration for why you went down this journey?
My divorce was what pushed me to do this. Before, I said I've been an artist since I was 8. I never really thought I was that good. I didn't really show people my art. So once my divorce happened, I kind of threw myself into my art, and I started posting more, and people really liked it. I sold a few pieces, which
it's wonderful.
Gave me a little confidence, and it just grew from there.
I wonder if a lot of artists are that way.
I'm sure.
I consider this podcast my art, and I'm not totally sure why, but I know one person referred to my podcast. Well, that's your art, Kevin. I never thought it was art until I realized I don't take it too seriously. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to provide a service for people. I want them to be able to share their story and promote their business. I love the connection I get with the people I have in the conversation. Mm-hmm. Hardly ever are people actually talking the way that we're talking right now. It's usually reserved for like first dates. Like you really get to know each other, like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But after that, it becomes a lot more closer and closer to surface sort of interactions. I've screwed up video so many times trying to learn how to do video, trying to edit or do how your microphone works with my microphone, and how they're kind of like they go over top of each other. And then there's this whole app that I have to like move things around, make sure things are lined up. Then there's the art of figuring out what your intro music is, and then how does that play? And then, oh, should there be an image of my logo? So probably similar to being a painter or a sculptor, it's about a process and it's about how you feel, right? So I can relate to that, but I don't let my art, and I think that's what makes it art, I don't let it negatively impact me. I might be like, shoot, man, I messed that one up again, you know. And even I remember back in the very, very beginning, because this is like episode 110 or something like that. Back in like the first 5, I deleted them all before they were released. I don't even know how I did. I think it was something in that machine right there. I pushed a button that reformatted the disk, and I lost all 5 conversations. So it's neat that you don't beat yourself up when you're an artist over your art. I think you don't. Unless, maybe it's because there's no expectations kind of deal. At least for me.
Yeah. I sometimes I do. When I have a customer getting a custom piece and I see something in my head and I can't quite get it onto my canvas, that can be frustrating, but I have hundreds of those in my basement.
Oh, yeah. Crazy. So, well, that's a really beautiful transformation, going from not really thinking your art was something, then people liking it, and then you were inspired to share more, and then provide the opportunity for people to experience the same thing.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges in opening the brick and mortar?
Finances is the number one hurdle that I'm still running the race.
Trying to figure it out, yeah.
Yeah. It's just me. I don't have any backing. There's no investors, so.
Well, hold on. When did that open? What year?
Last January.
Wonderful.
So I'm very new to the brick and mortar and trying to figure out how to operate this and market it. And
you could say, hey, we've been open over a year.
Yeah.
It's positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We made it through the first year, which a lot of businesses don't. So it's not like I'm taking it for granted. I just realize that there's still more hurdles to overcome.
That's wonderful. Besides finances, when you say finances, do you mean the rent is kind of high, or the bills are kind of high, or I didn't know I would need this many brushes? I don't even know what it would be.
All of the above. Yeah, no, all of that, yes, has been a huge challenge. Also, figuring out how to balance life when owning a business. I don't have normal work hours. I don't clock in and clock out. I'm always on call. I feel like I am attached to my phone now, checking emails and checking, to make sure the post and sharing the posts and figuring out where to share the post to get people's eyes on it. It's all been very
so much anxiety, right?
Challenging, yes.
Yeah. You don't know if you're responding too fast. You don't know if you're responding too late.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I got an email at 7:30. Oh, that can wait till tomorrow. But if if they're hot to purchase right now, you kind of want to get to them.
Yeah. You don't want to let it go. So it's finding the time and figuring out how to balance all the things, and I wear all the hats here,
Besides finances, what do you think has been like the second highest rated challenge for you? Like client acquisition, scheduling, permitting, I don't even know, stuff like that?
Yeah, probably just figuring out how to get people into the door. Like I said, the marketing has been somewhat of a challenge, figuring out how to reach the people that I don't already know. I do get a lot of great response on Facebook. I've been in the community for a while now, and I bartended for years around here, which I think was to my benefit when opening up this studio, because I've met a lot of great people working behind the bar, and I was able to do that when I first started doing this when traveling. So I was bartending and traveling to do these paint nights, and I could market myself when working. So it was great.
I can totally see that. You could really mine just the connections of networking that you'd done over all those years.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that I'm excited. We had a conversation at a coffee shop discussing how the content should flow and how the podcast could really benefit you. And I hope that educating people through this podcast gets more bodies in the door.
Yes.
Like, I would love to do it because I don't think I've ever painted. I own a painting company. And I can paint the hell out of houses and buildings, but I've never tried to paint a moon or a dog or a cat sitting on a fence or things like that. I think, and I think I don't take myself so seriously that I wouldn't beat myself up over it, but I would love to try. So I see myself trying to figure it out. And I think the more people that experience it, the more should be sharing what a blast they had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what are some of the successes? Where are you killing it?
Well, what I consider my biggest success would be when I do collaborate with other businesses and build a sense of community. Because not only am I making money, I'm also helping them generate business. The paint parties bring a lot of new faces into a business a lot of time. They're coming there for the paint party, not because, they frequent that establishment. So I think it's a win-win for everyone.
I just thought of a collaboration. Let's say, like the date night one.
Mm-hmm.
What's the price range in that?
It's $35 per person.
Okay, so $70.
Mm-hmm.
Brackens Painting could say, hire us and enjoy the collaboration we have with Merely Creative, and I just pay for it. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They don't have to do it. They might do it, but they might call you with a code, and then you just send me an invoice for the people that took advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because, frankly, I'm going to put it in the invoice that they're paying for. But that collaboration in the community might be something that they would appreciate that.
Yeah.
I should think about that for other businesses, too.
I've done that for a few realtors.
That's pretty
So they've
slick,
had
yeah.
past clients, and they've brought their past clients in to kind of celebrate and show
That's
their
good.
appreciation with a paint party.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So what other things are you doing well at when it comes to your business?
The one thing that makes my heart sore is really working with the veterans. I've seen it make a huge impact on them. So
Tell me more about that, please.
I work with 6A at the VA hospital. It's
What's
the
6A?
psych ward.
Okay.
So they are locked in, sometimes for months at a time, and they do not leave that building. So I come up every other Thursday and I paint with them. And the feedback that I've gotten from them, I might even start crying because it just warms my heart. So if I could do more of that and just do that full time, I feel like...
Meredith, that's incredible.
Yeah, I feel like...
Are you compensated for
life's
that?
Complete. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Good. I like hearing that. Every Thursday, that's really admirable. That's incredible. And you're open to other opportunities to do that outside of the VA?
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So let's see here. I'm looking at my notes, people. If the cameras work, and I have a whole whiteboard up here that I try to keep track on. Let's talk about who your ideal client is. Let's sell this directly to the people you want to come in.
I don't know how to narrow that down because this really can be for anyone. I can do children's activities to elderly. I paint with retirement homes all the time. Men, women, disabled. It really doesn't matter who you are. This could either be hugely beneficial to you, your mental health, or just for fun, whatever the case may be, there's something for you there.
So if you're talking about kids, how many kids at a time?
Well, my space has a capacity to hold 32.
That seems like a really heavy lift, though, with varying ages.
It is, but also the parents can just drop them off. It's not a babysitting service.
Yeah.
Parents are there, present.
Right.
But yes, I mean, and the kids' classes are also really fun. They don't hold themselves back. Their creativity is everywhere, and I love it. They don't always follow along, and I love that too. I encourage them to use their creativity.
How often is date night?
Date night's once a month.
Is that because it didn't take off twice a month?
Yes.
Okay. We should be promoting that because more couples need that silly connection.
Yeah.
They need to be they need opportunities to get outside. Social media is so good at showing us what it thinks we like based on the things we look at and like. But if I'm looking for a really good Thai restaurant, but I never say that I am, it's almost impossible to find a good Thai restaurant because, no, don't you want this? Don't you want Glory Days? Don't you want this? Don't you? No, and I'm trying to find Thai. So it's almost like it would never be recommended unless, of course, you were paying for that advertisement. But I couples, this should be something that is pushed hard at couples. I think it's for who I am, I think that's a really great market to go after. And then, let me back up for a second. So the stuff you're doing with the VA, do you share that on social media? Are you bragging about that?
No.
Why not?
I can't take pictures up there.
Right.
I mean, I've shared a few pictures of, me walking into the VA hospital that I'm going to paint with veterans. But
that philanthropy is valuable. When people know that a local business, although compensated, you're giving back, you're open to helping people, those are some of the things you should really be sharing. It's wonderful. And if people just don't know, they just don't know. Just like the date nights. It'd be great to have that as a special thing. You could almost sell a package and say 6 months of date nights. Every single month, you and your partner are going to come in, and they're going to get better and better and better because it's a class. I think that's a great idea. We did not touch on murals, though.
Oh, yeah.
So who'd be an ideal client for the murals, and describe what that looks like, too?
I do murals for people or businesses alike. I have 3 at the Garage on King. I have one at Stoney's Whiskey, Wine, and Raw Bar. I'm currently working on for Potomac Ridge Brewing, which opens March 7th.
Where's that?
That's in Sharpsburg.
Oh, cool.
I have one at the Admiral. It's in Boonesboro, Maryland. Excellent food, too, if you haven't tried it. And I'm in the works doing one for a coffee house in Boonesboro as well, called Beans in the Belfry.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Who designs the murals?
I do.
So Brackens Painting is like, hey, we want a mural on our commercial space.
Mm-hmm.
It's brick. Can you do a mural on brick?
Yes.
Can you do a mural on metal?
Yes.
What can't you do a mural on? Water.
Yeah, water. Water would be one, yeah. I haven't really encountered anything that I haven't been able to do yet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then when you design it, is it based on the logo of the company? Is that the intention?
Not always, no. Sometimes it's just the vibe that they want to give off for their place. So, like the Admiral, they are kind of like the sea was their thing. So sure. I painted an admiral at sea with his ship wheel and, the water in the background and stuff, just to create a cool space for them. Also, a lot of murals attract people to take pictures with them, so it attracts business.
That's really cool. I had a mural done in a T-shirt company, but I had one of my painters paint it.
Yeah.
And we did like a thing, and it had a really great quote about commitment, and it was something my grandfather said. He said, "Don't throw a hatchet at something unless you plan on hitting it." It's an old-timer phrase, but I put that below the logo of Bracken Tees, meaning I'm in this business, I'm committed to it. Let's make it happen.
Let's throw a hatchet.
Yeah. Just make sure you want to hit that hatchet. So, let's get into the call to action part. So the call to action part would be, for Brackens Painting, this is how the call to action is. Brackens Painting wants to be your painter for your first project, your second project, and your third project. We're a company you can hire over and over again. We don't have to take all the budget at once. You don't have to be overwhelmed. Further, we're trying to change the status quo of what it's like to work with a contractor. We're not trying to be shady. We're not trying to be stinky. We're not trying to be dirty. We're trying to truly deliver on the services you're requesting from us. That's my call to action. So basically, I tell people what we do, what makes us different, and I say, call us at this phone number. Shoot us an email here. We have an enormous crew and we can be there usually within 7 to 10 days to start your project all year long. No more delays. No more worrying about losing your deposit. We are the painter. You want to call, and if you choose to hire somebody else, I want you to wonder if it would have been a different experience with Brackens Painting. That's pretty good one, would you say?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm putting doubt in your head right now, even if you choose to paint your own house, right? So, and I know it might be new to you to develop a call to action, but how do you, in the next 3 minutes, reach out to anybody who could potentially be your client? Whether it's a mural or a therapeutic sort of artwork or whatever, or birthday sort of parties or date nights. How do we lock it in right now, Meredith?
Well, Merely Creative is a fun and exciting atmosphere. It's bright, colorful. The service, the artist that teaches is always upbeat. I have a few artists that work for me. We're all stellar personalities, extremely patient and kind whenever you're working with us.
It's okay. What else would you say that's really special about your space?
It's just really inviting. It's unique. There's a ton of artwork to see whenever you come in. There's also a couple other artists in there that you can purchase their art. So I do commission art as well.
Like a little like a small gallery.
Yeah. But yeah, they're always fun. You're gonna have a good time. Not only are you gonna learn something new about yourself and your skills, but you're going to have a great time.
I'm gonna pump you up some.
Okay.
You ready? This
Yeah.
is just me winging it.
Okay.
You can let me know if I say something wrong, okay? Because I'm going to try to promote your business right now. Fellas, do what's right. Go down to Merely Creative and buy 6 monthly date nights. I think that would be super juicy. I think it'd be a really great time for a couple. Ladies, get your girls together, go out and have a good time. It's an incredibly great bonding experience. I bet. I haven't done it, and I look forward to doing it. But I bet like a whole team of ladies that haven't seen each other in a while go out and do this. It's silly. There's no expectations. You get to joan on each other a little bit. I don't see dudes doing it, like a bunch of dudes. I don't see that in my head, at least. But I see ladies kind of getting at it. If you have, we really didn't talk about the kids coming in between 10 and 12. How can we create a call to action for that sort of experience?
Well, for homeschool especially, creates a space for people to socialize, the kids to socialize, which that's one of the biggest hurdles for people who homeschool, from what I hear, is just socializing their children. But yeah, there's something that I would say ages 3 to say 13, 14 would probably get to be too old, but there's something for all of them there, so you can bring in a group of children and have fun. It's a donation-based class. Try to keep it low cost for large families. Recommended $5 per kid to make it all affordable.
People, just so you know, that's not necessarily a suggestion. It's a donation, and if you have the ability to donate, you should. I'll be direct. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's an affordable activity for people who are available Monday through Wednesday from 10 a.m. till noon.
Monday through Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon. That's the plays, free plays. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, open plays.
Open plays.
Sensory Tuesdays is labeled sensory play on the website. The only thing that's different there is the music's instrumental and the lights are kept low for kids with triggers.
Wow. Okay. That's something I'd love to talk about some other time. Well, Meredith, do you want to check your notes? Did we cover everything?
I think so. Don't forget to register when you want to take one of these classes. You'll go to merelycreative.com. I am not guaranteed to be in the studio if nobody has signed up for these classes. So again, you have to register at merelycreative.com. Also, my phone number is 304-620-4079 if you have any questions.
Social media?
Social media, Merely Creative on Facebook.
No Instagram?
I think I'm Merely Creative on Instagram too.
Are you like taking pictures of every single person that comes in and out of your doors basically and posting their pictures on Instagram, like 3 a day?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe I should.
Maybe just as,
Yeah.
maybe put together 40 pictures and then set them on a rotation every month in, month out, month in, month out.
I feel like I need a TikTok too. Maybe just to
I-
stay relevant
I
with
bet
the times
you do.
now.
I'm at the age where I'm starting to delete I'm like, not learning that one.
That's
Not going to
how
get into
I
that one.
felt.
Yeah.
That's how I felt, but I feel like I just need to pull out all the bells and whistles here now because I'm at a point where I need to decide what I'm going to do with this. Do I hold on or do I just travel? So
You mean hold on to the brick and mortar?
Yes, that's stepping out of my comfort zone doing this to
Yeah.
try new methods of marketing. So
Good. Well, here's wishing for the best. We'll talk offline about how, my social media management is about 1 hour a week if I stay on top of it. That's great because all the posts are scheduled. Well, here's hoping the best for you.
thank you.
All right. And thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Wonderful.